Good morning, everybody. I'm Gitty Ankers, for those of you who don't know me. I'm the chair of Cornwall Community Flood Forum. I'd like to say a very warm welcome to all of you, whether you're online or in the room. Thank you very much for joining us this morning and making our conference another successful conference. I hope you don't mind. Joy of getting older, you can't see very well. So I did ask Amy, could she print me my notes a bit, the font a bit larger? Next thing I know, I'll get something of this size. And I said, Amy, I think she exceeded my expectation. Anyway, if you don't mind, I'm going to read from my notes because I can't remember everything. And if I don't say certain things, then I get into trouble. Plus, I've only got 10 minutes and the time starts now. Before I introduce the day, I need to go through a few quick housekeeping, just to let you know where all the fire doors are. I believe there's one there, one behind me, and the other one is somewhere where James is sitting. There's no fire drill or fire alarm expected today. So if it does go off, please use the fire exit and gather in front of the pavilion, the main entrance on the tarmac area. But please make sure you close all the doors after you. Toilets are situated on the basement level. So as you came in, is the room right in front of, is the staircase going downstairs in front of you. I was going to say about your cups, if you don't mind, they're trying to save the forest. So if you can hang on to your cups for the rest of the day, that would be brilliant. Hopefully you've got your names on it. To minimize any interruption, if I can ask you to switch your mobile phone off, and hopefully I've switched mine off with a bit of luck. The next thing on my list I've got to mention to you, Wi-Fi. We're trying not to use the Wi-Fi for the sake of those people online, because to just make sure that they have a good connection and they're able to hear us. For those people online, if I could ask you to put your question for speakers in the chat, we will make sure that we answer as many of your questions as we can, either before the morning coffee break or before the lunch break, because we've got 2 question and answer session Q&A panels, one before the coffee morning and one before lunch. And then if any questions we can't answer because we run out of time, please use the networking as an opportunity to speak to the speakers and other people in the audience. We try to keep to the timing as best as we can, because one of the feedback we had from last year was people wanted more time to do networking, to be able to go around the stands and speak to the stand holders. And I know they've put a lot of time and effort to put a fantastic display for you. So please try to make the most of it and talk to as many people as possible. And there's also Be Flood Ready pod, which is outside the door. It's come from a very long way, and he arrived yesterday, and it's really been kitted out very well. So it will be good if you can take a trip outside, even though it's raining, just to have a look inside the pod. As I said, our wonderful Amy Pierce from the Environment Agency is the timekeeper. She had 2 bells. One is a gentle one, so it's 2 minutes before your time is over. And she's got a more violent one, which is here. And then when that goes, you have to stop. I've kept that here so that she can't use it on me. Now I'm going to go to more important stuff, which is all about our challenging weather. So thanks to Dion Jones for giving us the information. I'm going to read some statistics to you. 2024 was the world's hottest year on record and the first year to exceed the 1.5 degrees centigrade warming limit set by the world leaders in Paris a decade ago. This meant the last 10 years were the 10 warmest years on record. In 2025, the UK had its warmest and sunniest spring. Hopefully we haven't forgotten on record. And England had its driest spring for 100 years. It was also the UK's warmest summer on record. And during this period, UK was impacted by 7 named storms. Don't ask me to remember the names, but I do remember one of them was named after our Amy. Between the start of October 2024 and the end of September 2025, Cornwall Council received 4,173 reports of flooding or blocked drainage, with most of the flooding affecting highways. Of these reports, 1,008 were for properties affected by flooding, i.e. access cut off, garden, land, garage flooded, and 232 were for internal property flooding. However, this is lower than the previous years. The most significant flooding of the year was due to a rainfall event on the 9th of 28th and 29th of August 2025, which was after the bank holiday, I believe. And at least 132 properties sadly flooded internally across Cornwall that night. And most of them these incidents were across Kingsand, Looe, Mavagissey, Polperro, Polruin, Sanosto, and Truro. Kirk England, the BBC sports presenter, asked Cornwall Community Flood Forum for interviews. Unfortunately, Janet Locker, one of our trustees, who you met as you came in to register, and Emma Newbury, one of our 2 officers, kindly stepped forward and did us proud on the screen. So if you do want to watch them, please let us know. I'm sure it's on our website. As these events become a more everyday experience for all of us, it's important that if your community experiences flooding, you remember to report it to Cornwall Council or the Environment Agency so they can provide assistance during and after the event. With the challenges that our weather is throwing at us and the impact we're having on our climate, we owe it to our young generation to help them to be more aware of their impact on their environment. We've therefore decided this year for the 4th time to invite pupils from local primary and secondary school to join us in the afternoon for 2 of the workshops. This year we've invited year 5 and 6 pupils from St. Hugh's School and year 7 pupils from Bodmin College to join the afternoon to learn about flood modelling and coastal change. In fact, we've had more than 2 schools wanting to come, but that's all we can cater for given the size of the venue. So it's something to bear in mind that our young people are becoming more and more interested in the impact of climate change. Thanks to funding from Southwest Regional Flood and Coastal Committee and the Environment Agency, we've continued to meet our commitment to communities in Cornwall over the past 12 months. As always, this funding is very much appreciated and will help us through to the spring of 2027. Amy Richardson, Emma Newbury, our 2 community engagement officers, and the Cornwall Community Flood Forum trustees and myself, we've been very busy over the last 12 months working throughout the year with a number of town and parish councils on their flood plans. Now I'm going to name a few of the communities that we need to clap for them. Big congratulations to St. Mawes, Bude, who have worked hard to finalize their flood plan. We've also started working with Redruth, Boscastle and Warrington. Bude, Penryn and Hale have all received flood warden training this year. We have run live exercises in Truro, Hale and Bude. As you may know, Cornwall Community Flood Forum are continuing to deliver the community engagement aspect of Making Space for Sand project. The project is led by Cornwall Council and funded by DEFRA. Since completing the coastal adaptation engagement and Morgan Porth, I've got 2 more pages. Good job I kept this. I'll read fast. Since completing the coastal adaptation engagement at Morgan Porth, Paul Zeth and Widmouth, we have engaged with Porth Town and Praise Sand to develop a coastal adaptation plan. We've also worked with 15 communities to develop their community resilience action brief, or in other words, their flood plan. These communities are leading the way to becoming more resilient to coastal change and flooding. Jolyon Sharp, the program lead for Making Space for Than, and Joanne Smith, the project coordinator, are here today, and they welcome any questions you might have during the project. Jolyon is sitting there, if you don't mind putting your hand, and Joanne is, thank you. Right, we move on to a new topic. Sorry. We're also delighted to announce that we have 2 new trustees, Greg Vaughan and Rory Gow, who have recently joined our forum. A very warm welcome to both of you. Thank you. I wish to sincerely thank our coastal and inland Cornish communities for all their hard work and dedication in volunteering to help their communities to be better prepared. The trustees and I are indebted to them for their help and support, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. Our forum also been blessed by having Amy and Emma working for us with their enthusiasm and commitment and good work. Certainly, I and the other trustees couldn't do without them, and I'm sure you would appreciate how hard they've worked to get this day together. Our main priority for the next 12 months and beyond is to ensure we deliver the agreed objectives clearly set out by our funders, both RFCC and Making Space for Sand. And we endeavour to listen to all the concerns from our communities that are being impacted by challenges from climate change and do what we can to help. This morning, Emma Newbury is your point of contact for those in the room, and Amy is your point of contact for those online. So please, any problem, let them know. Finally, just a gentle reminder to complete the feedback form at the end of the day, or if you're leaving lunchtime, please before you leave, and return the feedback form and your name badge in the box at the main entrance, if that's all right. The feedback form are on the back of your agenda. Trying to save paper, sorry about that. We take your feedback very seriously and we act on it as best as we can. Now I'm nearly there, Amy. I'm not setting a very good precedent, am I? Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, Nikki. Nikki brings 70 years of experience in emergency planning, resilience strategy, and community engagement. Her work focuses on empowering local authorities and residents to prepare for, respond to, and recover from disruptive events. The floor is yours, Nikki.